Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Monday, the 8th of November, 2021. And we're producing our Monday morning gold and silver price update, forecast and daily news. With gold and silver marginally down this morning, and Russia not delivering the gas supplies it promised to Europe, and the clouds gathering, we have a bleak morning so far. Let's take a look. Welcome to Illuminati Silver. It's Monday, the 8th of November 2021 at 09:04 AM GMT +1. The weather today is bleak, and it reminds us of that carol, In the Bleak Midwinter. However, we're not in the middle of winter yet. However, perhaps that may not be said. For the gas crisis, perhaps we are in a bleak midwinter. Europe gas jumps on signs that the Russian flows won't get promised boost. Are they trying to tell us we were lied to by the Russians? Surely not. European gas surged on signs Russia won't deliver the boost in supplies President Vladimir Putin promised, at least not on Monday. Benchmark futures traded in the Netherlands surged as much as 9.7%, as gas orders via a key Russian pipeline signaled shipments will remain well below normal on Monday. There was also no extra capacity booked to send additional supplies to Europe in auctions on Sunday. Europe's biggest supplier of the fuel had promised to send more gas to the region starting today, with Putin ordering Gazprom to fill its European storage sites following the completion of Russia's domestic stockpiling campaign. The lack of additional flows is a disappointment for traders, who had been counting on Putin's promise to ease the continent's supply crunch. Who would have thought that we would be reliant on Russia for heating over the winter period? Talking of potential dictators, we now have in China President Xi set to unveil new doctrine that could let him rule for life. The Chinese Communist Party's first official declaration on history in 40 years is expected at its biggest event of this year. Only two men in the Communist Party's history have ever written a so-called historical resolution. China is waiting to see whether President Xi Jinping becomes the third. Some may pronounce it Xi Jinping. The first official declaration on Chinese history in 40 years is set to top the agenda when the ruling party huddles this week in the last major meeting before a twice-a-decade Congress next year, where Xi's expected to break precedent and secure a third term to extend his indefinite rule. Now, we haven't got time to go into this, but it does have consequences for the actions of China moving forward. What also has consequences for the rest of the world is the headline in Reuters: global COVID-19 cases hit 250 million. Eastern Europe infections are at record levels. Global COVID-19 cases surpassed 250 million on Monday as some countries in Eastern Europe experience record outbreaks, even as the Delta variant surge eases and many countries resume trade and tourism. Why do we look at that? Because of its potential effect on economic growth. Main headlines today in the UK. We found this outrageous. Twitter poll calls on Musk to sell 10% of his Tesla stake. Elon Musk going on Twitter asking people if, because Tesla's reached all-time highs, whether he should sell some of his shares. However, going back to the energy crisis, small-scale nuclear to get green light this week. Plans for a generation of new smaller nuclear reactors will become more concrete this week. American headlines: fossil fuel industry's biggest delegation at COP26. Interesting that they're going to the climate change conference. US to reopen borders to vaccinated after 20 months. And Iraqi Prime Minister survives a drone attack on his home. let's have a look what's happening in the economic front. Dollar still holding well above 94 at 94.25, just marginally down 0.06 this morning. Energy prices rising slightly, almost $1, not quite. WTI crude at 82.10 and Brent crude at 83.53. Equity markets in the US, obviously they're not open yet, and we covered this in our weekly update, but all of the bourses were up for the week. However, in Asia Pacific overnight, most of them are down, up to about 0.5%, and in Europe and UK, again most down, but really only just marginally so. US economic data, nothing scheduled for today, and tomorrow we have the producer price index. What's happening to gold this morning? Well, down $5. Now, in our weekly update, we mentioned the fact that gold and silver both ended the week at their week's high. There was the distinct possibility that it might continue this morning, but that has not been the case, and prices have actually fallen. So it's down $5.50 at 1813. Remember, 1800 is that crucial support level. And silver's down 5 cents at 24.14, and again $24 is that crucial psychological support level. Cryptocurrency markets, well, this morning on a tear. Bitcoin actually up nearly 8%, now at $66,000. And the market cap well on its way to $3 trillion, currently standing at 2.86, and it could very well now hit 3 trillion before the end of this month. Why is that important? Because a large percentage of that, not necessarily the majority, but a large percentage, could have been going into gold and silver. Over the weekend, we published 2 videos, our gold and silver weekly update, and on Sunday, basically a repeat with slightly different intro and thumbnail. Gold and silver close at week's high, where next, where we actually highlight where we believe that gold and silver is going to run. That's it. Really, geopolitical news and dollar values are going to be the main effect on gold and silver today. Without such news, there might just be some mild weakening. Thank you so much for listening. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign. Until tomorrow, and hopefully the rest of the day will not be so bleak. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.